So, guys, I enjoyed the film. Um, Blair, I want to know how familiar were you with hockey before you took on this role?
Well, Anita, first of all, how much did you
Yeah,
enjoy the
yeah.
film?
That's
That's
what
you
I
can't
was.
just say drop that and keep on going into the interview.
Well, I got into the story.
Well, listen, that's what's great to hear because this has a dual track. If you like sports films, I think it's a great sports film. You've got all the action you want, but more than that, that's why I think this is more than just a sports film. It's because of the relationships. His relationship with the young lady he falls in love, he falls for, the relationship with the father and son. It's the characters, it's the emotional journey, his internal emotional journey, but also it's what drew me to this film. The uniqueness of seeing these black characters actually in this world of hockey, which is just an aesthetic because you saw the film. It's not something we really deal with a lot. We don't have to go there because there's too many other things going on. But the relationship, the emotional journey was interesting, fascinating to me.
Ashton, you're Canadian, correct?
Yes.
So, of course, hockey is in your blood. Am I right?
So they say. But I was born in St. Lucia, so I went to Toronto when I was 7, so I adopted hockey in those ways.
The scenes were pretty incredible. I mean, how much of that was you out there on the ice?
Every single bit, every single second, it was all me. I had no stunt doubles. No one helped me. That's my story. And no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not
The
true.
lies you tell.
No, I had a lot of help. I had two stunt doubles, Dante Jones and Aaron Atwell, and they were amazing. And even to get to that process, Chris Nelson, our hockey coordinator, he worked with me a lot. Daryl Levy, Becky Tyler worked with me a lot. So I had a lot of help to get me as close to Dean as I could.
Mhm. Did you guys, the extras, were those like real hockey players? Walk me through that.
Yeah, a lot of the people who surrounded the film were hockey players who could act, and some were actors who could play hockey. It was really important to Chris and Hubert to have the pieces around it to make the hockey sequences as real as they could. And actors say often, you get an audition, they're like, "Can you ride a horse?" Yes, yes, I
Mm,
can, and they've never done it before.
hmm
So we had 2 days of hockey auditions. And Chris and Hubert, they put everyone through the motions, and that way they were able to get people who were really able to skate.
Mhm. You guys mentioned Blair. I think you mentioned race, and it's interesting because I was at LA Live as an LA Kings game ended, and I saw like two black people coming out of this whole crowd. So, so what does this movie say about race and hockey?
First of all, I think, my dad told me something when I was 10 years old. He said, as a black man, you don't have to have a neon light and you don't have to bang your drum and say, I'm a black man, I'm a black man. Your presence is
Mm.
a political statement. You saw the film. So again, that's not the driving force, the leading conversation. But it is reality. Hubert Davis, our director, the film that he did prior to this was a documentary called Black Ice. And it's about the history of black players in hockey. So we like in so many things, we've been around longer than people ever realized. So this is Youngblood, this is Dean's story about how his life is evolving and changing and expressing himself within this world of hockey. But it is unique and it is different, and that's what makes I think it's one of the elements that makes this film something special.
Mhm. I like that. And it is different, although it's also a remake.
I think we've been kind of leaning more to like a reimagining because it's not like a scene for scene remake. We kind of took the same characters and just fleshed out their journeys a little bit more. But I think there's enough in there that people who watch the original, they can still feel like the heart and the things that made them enjoy it. But also there's enough new things that they can have a new experience so it doesn't feel like they're watching the same thing.
And Blair, your character, he was so stern. He just made me mad sometimes. How deep did you have to dig for that?
Not that deep. No, I'm a dad anyway. I'm a father anyway, of two sons, like in the movie. Um, so no, the thing that this character more than anything has deep affection and love for his boys, and he wants them both to be more successful than he ever could have dreamt of. How he manifests that, how he disciplines them, how he raises them, especially in light of the fact that their mother is not around. is very layered and I think understandable as to where he comes from. Doesn't make it right or wrong, but it's understandable. And that was the most important thing to me. I didn't want him to just. I knew, and I take that as a compliment that it made you mad because it would make me mad. Some of the choices he makes. But it's important more than anything to understand why he is that way in as much as you can. And I think in the final scene, you get a strong glimpse into his spirit and soul as to why he drove them so hard.
Mhm. All right, well, guys, again, I enjoyed the movie, Ashton. I do want to know how much skating you did.
I'm telling you, I did all of it.
He did quite a bit, though. He's being very humble. He did have, we mentioned all that, but he did quite a bit on his own.
Yeah, no, I did as much as they allowed me to. They didn't want me in my skates for too long because they can hurt after a while. But I was ready to go. But yeah, it was I did most of it for the most part.
All right. Well, congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.